think it is a cool idea, and I'm surprised there are people who are willing to be dead for this.
We just died. We died and now we're alive.
And
we
we're
were
still
resurrected
here.
and now we're still here and we're happier than ever and now we're going to take a shot.
So the first thing is to death, but then to life.
Well, we're trying to teach obituary writing by faking some deaths.
Right now there is an obituary writer teaching people a really quick run through on how it's done, how not to be insensitive, how to do it appropriately.
Well, my husband is Michael Koretzky, and he wanted to teach people a lesson about, I guess, writing, and his way of teaching is to actually coordinate an event, so this is probably the most morbid idea that he has had.
Oh, I think it's brilliant. You know, it's interactive and it's a real setting. It's something that you will walk into in real life as a reporter.
People might think it's a little weird or creepy or morbid, but if you're going to learn obituary writing, what better place to learn it than in a funeral home?
But he did want to buy a coffin, and I put my foot down and I said, no, we are not going to have a coffin in the house or even in the garage.
When people try to make sense of death, which they do all the time because we don't really know what happens, they have a hard time sort of with the randomness of it. But keep that in mind when you talk to people who are grieving.
Really soon we're going to move into the actual room where the casket and the urns are, and our families and our friends are going to talk.
So we're all very sad at SBJ. The losses are irreplaceable.
You wouldn't normally have 3 dead people in the same funeral, although, you know, when there's an airplane crash or, you know, God forbid, something like that shooting, you know, a school shooting or other things, you might have a situation like this.
I just heard some of my closest friends and mentors talk about me as if I was dead, and it was real.
Whoever writes the best obituary, as judged by the corpses themselves, plus Eleanor Brecker, the Miami Herald's beat reporter for obituaries, receives an engraved funeral urn that says SBJ Death Race on it. Win this trophy, engraved funeral urn, and then we drink.
Right now, everyone's caravanning to South Florida Gay News, where the writers are going to start writing their obituaries. They've already interviewed our loved ones, so now they have an hour to write the best obituary they can.
We got like 16 reporters in there, from Naples, Orlando, Miami, and all points in between.
After that, we're going to go to the bar and drink and judge, and then award whoever did the best job.
Now I'm looking, you know, about style check and storytelling, and if it, you know, I feel correctly, I'm pausing, correctly sums up my life and what I'm about.
Third place winner goes to Brandon Ballinger about Gideon Grudo.
Heather Carney, please come on. Please come on. Thank you.
And in first place is Christine Gill, who wrote about me. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I'm glad I'm alive. This is the pinnacle of my career.
Here, you know, I think the challenge has been to learn about the deceased and to try to shape a story around that information.
Koretzky, I think he has a way of putting a spin on things and making them both educational and fun and really twisted and weird. I've done so many programs with him at this point that I'm not surprised. The funeral home, it's not surprising. What was surprising was when I did this in a homeless shelter.
What I like about SBJ South Florida is we don't do lectures, symposiums, panel discussions with head tables in classrooms or lecture halls under fluorescent lights. When we do something and we want to train about journalism, we do it in that place.
SPJ South Florida especially has opened up so many doors for me that would not have been even, an option. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for SBJ. I'd probably be laying at home with my cat if it wasn't for this.
We're going to teach about homelessness. We're going to do it in a homeless shelter. We're going to talk about the history of journalism. We're not going to talk about it. We're going to take away your computers, and you're going to put out a newspaper without computers. We're going to talk about journalism ethics. We're going to put out an issue of the paper with no ethics at all. To me, this is not unusual. So people might think it's a little weird or creepy or morbid.
But I've gotten so, twisted into this world of journalism that I don't want to leave. And I want to keep promoting it because it's great and the people who will come after us will keep it alive.